So, how's yourselves and how's the band doing?
And the band doing great. We just released EP and we are so excited and happy to perform end of April as well. And yeah, what
I
else?
was just, I was just saying then, I reviewed the EP the other week, and I give it 9.9
This
out of
is
10.
crazy. Thank you so much. I think you're the
Absolutely,
hottest.
I think so, yeah.
yeah, absolutely brilliant. I always love it when I get to hear new artists. I I'm not quite sure we'll get into more about the band history in a bit, but I always love it when I get to hear new music, and I think, right, what's it going to be? What's it like? And I was like, wow, this is quality, absolutely brilliant. So, how did you all meet? How did the band become?
So I was solo artist. But last year, December, but early than that, then we decided that if something is missing, and I always wanted to have like a bit heavy, even though my melody is a bit popish because I listen a lot pop music, Russian, French. It doesn't matter. It's just always like the melody gets me. It doesn't matter what language, and I don't know. It's always never enough for me. The heaviness in on instruments, and then
Yeah.
Josh is. I think we need a band, and I was like, okay. So December last year, um, we. I think we found a bass player first, and then and then slowly we found everybody else. They pretty young. Um, and then yeah, last year.
So, how long has the band been going?
About a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, nearly 1 year.
So you are newbies.
Yeah, I think
It,
each of us individually, like we've been playing for a long time, but as this band, yeah, it's about a year.
yeah, it's fantastic what you've achieved. It's brilliant. Uh,
Thank you.
I I'm always shocked when Chris sends links over and wants me to listen to the music and all that. And he's got a brilliant ear and eye for a band. I can honestly say that. Uh,
Can't
so
wait. We can't wait to be famous.
yeah, I'm 50 this year, and I've been waiting 50 years to be famous.
Happy birthday in advance.
Oh, thank you. It's in June, it is.
Yeah, June.
I'm in Download Festival. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I'm trying to get Download Festival to give us some freebies, but nothing yet. um, Growing up, what music did you listen to? What influenced you into becoming a singer and a musician? What was your one love going forward?
Because almost all the songs written early, like before. So I listen a lot of Lana Del Rey, pop songs, I don't know, Russian songs. Um, yeah.
That was, I think, I brought the heavy for Anna because I was listening to a lot of In Flames, Soulwork, Children of Bodom, even Cradle of Filth, which is
Yeah,
your British band. I'm loving
amazing,
Cradle. Yeah.
amazing bands. Yeah, it's In Flames. I'm getting to possibly meet them
Oh
later
wow,
on in the year when they tour in the UK. So I got my fingers crossed for that.
that would be
So
awesome. Yeah.
what got you into being a musician, and what got you into being a singer? Was this something you always wanted to do, or is this something which you fell into?
For me, I started learning how to play the guitar around 12, and by the time I was 13, we had started doing shows. So
Oh,
I
wow.
wanted to do it for a long time. There was a break in between, from 13 till I'll say about 19, I was doing gigs and shows. And then for several years, I didn't do anything. And eventually came back around to do it again because that's just what I love doing.
Well, do you remember what song was the very first song you learned of somebody else's?
Yes, the very first song I ever learned was Champagne Supernova by Oasis.
Oh, see, now you've gone down in my estimations now. You were so high with Cradle of Filth.
Well, to qualify that, like when you're starting to learn guitar, like Oasis is a very beginner friendly band to learn songs. Cradle's a bit up there.
I've got to be honest. The very first song I learned was Three Blind Mice. So that was so easy. But what about you, Anna? What got you into becoming a singer?
Oh, I always sing as long as I remember. I think start from 8, and then all the way I left my village just because I want to pursue my dream when I was 15 years old, and I study opera, and I
Wow.
finished it. Thank you. And then finish, and then I feel like I always want to be international singer, even though I don't speak English, guys. I didn't speak English. I don't know how to speak, but I decided to leave, and I didn't sing also for a little bit because I don't know anybody. I don't know how to speak English. So I always in my head, I always want to sing, how to find the right friends, right people. And that's where bring me here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I sing cover songs for a long time in Asia. And but there was period time where I was like, how would my song sounds like? And then it's probably 2018 where slowly starting to do my own songs. And
Yeah.
then yeah, slowly, yeah. But I sing all my life as long as I remember, and I want to keep singing.
It is. You should keep on singing because you're amazing vocalists and amazing musicians. The new EP, The Art of Letting Go. Like I said, I give it 9.9, and as I was saying to Josh a minute ago, the only reason I didn't give you 10 out of 10 is because I wanted more songs. Because when you're listening to them, you're like, oh, this is brilliant, but then the EP's over. And sometimes you forget about the EP and you think, oh, it's a full album, but then you realize then, but brilliant, absolute brilliant record. You must be pleased with the response which you've had since the release.
Yes, it was. I don't know. It's absolutely mind blowing how much we achieve, and it's a bit scary because like I don't want it to be end, and I want to keep growing.
I think when we first wrote the songs, we were very proud of it. First, we released the first single was Sirens, and that was what Chris Poland first heard.
Yeah.
And yeah, he had the faith at that stage to sign us just hearing that one song.
Wow.
He asked me, do you have more songs? I said, yes, but they're not ready for you to hear. So he went, okay, I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'll sign you guys based off this one song. And fingers crossed, like he believed that what we would produce would be good. So he didn't hear them until the final mixes.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't let him hear it when they were demos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was more for Ouroboros. The rest came later.
So how much encouragement did Chris give you?
In terms of the writing?
The EP, you said you didn't want him to listen to it, but did he have much influence in what you were going to put out?
Not really. That's one thing that we loved about Chris. Like, he's been very supportive of trusting our vision. We had written the songs, we just hadn't finished the recording process yet.
Yeah.
And I said, look, you can listen to some demos if you want. And he actually said, no, I want to hear them when they're done.
Yeah.
So he did ask me some questions. He goes, okay, our next single, which was Moth, he said, does it have a long intro? And I went, yes. And he was a bit concerned about that. I said, trust me, it's going to work. There's a reason it's long. And he goes, okay,
Yeah.
what about your second single, which was Ouroboros? I said,
Yeah.
Chris, it's even longer.
You are.
And he went, oh, all right, I trust you.
I've got a little bit of a confession to make.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it was one of yourselves or another member of the band, but I I tagged the band in
Yeah.
for the link to the review, and I tagged in Chris Poland. And now I've been tagging.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Wait.
So when Michael tagged us in the review,
Huh?
he tagged the wrong Chris Poland. He tagged Megadeth.
We like it.
You know, the worst thing about it is that Chris Poland from Megadeth, he's been having links to every single review I've been doing since 2018.
Actually, I'll tell you my funny story is
What? Not only us the whole time?
that
I've just been sending him links, so he might be static. Why is this idiot sending me?
mate, I'll make you feel better. It's not just you, because when Chris Poland first reached out to me, I came to Anna and went, so Chris Poland's the guitarist, ex-Megadeth guitarist, wants to sign us.
And then he told the whole band as well. And we get so excited.
And the whole band said, I didn't even know he has a label.
We're like, okay.
It's exactly my mate. He was turning around, he's saying, yeah, he was a brilliant guitarist for Megadeth. I was exactly the same. It's a totally different Chris Poland.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with social media, isn't it? You when you get an emails, you don't get to see the facials. So
Yes.
when you type in Chris Poland, that pops up and you think, oh, the way he's dressed in the photo, heavy metal, you think, oh, well, that's Chris. So
Oh my god, this is so
I know.
funny.
Well, at least one of the members of the band reached out and corrected me.
I think that was me, yeah, because I made that mistake myself.
So, what plans have you got for the rest of 2024?
We've got a few gigs in Melbourne coming up. We're starting to play less local shows and play a bit more regional country shows. We're hoping to go interstate this year. And we're working on something bigger for early next year, which we don't really want to talk about until we have dates locked down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're planning to take the show on the road.
Well, finally, I honestly hope. Have you got anything in brackets for the UK?
For the UK, we're trying something close, but we may not reach the UK. So if things work out, I'll let you know. You might have to do a small road trip.
Hey, I'm always up for a road trip. That's I'll bring Chris Poland from Megadeth with me, and we'll all just get in the minibus.
Awesome. Yeah.
But no, definitely. I can't wait
to come to the UK. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the thing is, I was with Chris involved with you. There was another band in the same situation as yourself, right? You all knew. I've photographed and interviewed them twice in the UK because Chris has got that those contacts to get you into onto tours or things like that. So you might be surprised, especially now with the EP coming out and being such an amazing EP. It's I would probably say within the next 18 months you could be in the UK. If not, I'll come to you.
Fingers crossed. I think we really enjoy live. I think that's where we shine the most.
Yeah, love.
Which
yeah,
I love the EP, but I think to really experience what we do, you got to see us live. It's a different thing.
Yeah, I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. It's if I've got to go to overseas to come and watch you play, that's something which I would do, because there's not many bands I would say that about. And I'm not just saying it because you're on camera.
Yeah.
Your music is brilliant. And it's something, since I've been doing this, I've got to listen to so many bands which I never had an opportunity to listen to before. But I can honestly say it's very rare I give it a 10 out of 10. So to have a 9.9, it just goes to show how much I love that EP. And like I say, the only downfall for me was that I wanted more. And I wanted it to be longer, because I listened to it 3 times in a row. And then I sat down, then on the 4th time I wrote my review. And it's brilliant. I can't say enough. It is really, really good. But we're in 2 different time zones, so I'm gonna let you go off, because I'm normally in bed 3 hours ago.
Yeah, we have
But,
to go back to work.
oh, what do you do then when you're not touring?
I'm working at a jewelry company. So I work in an office of jewelry company.
Oh wow, you need to pack that in, and become superstars.
No, I hope so. Can't wait. Every day I was like, oh, I can't wait.
I've got 2 jobs that I do. One is I do furniture removals. I'm a truck driver.
Yeah.
And the other thing I do is we've got a comic company where we've just launched our new comic, which Anna also has a comic with us.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, we have to send you 1 copy, Mark.
And sign it. I love comics. I know I love it. I've got I even
printing.
you have to send it to me, because
I'll email you the details.
Yeah.
What I'll do is, so we've just released my own comic. We debuted at Supernova last weekend.
Wow.
And I'll send you a link. And what we can do is, because the Anna comic is just a preview at the moment, it's not a full comic.
Yeah.
And we're only selling it at shows, but I'll send you the Kickstarter link to my comic, and we'll slide the Anna one in for you too.
And send it to you.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. This has been brilliant speaking to you. I really, really hope soon you get the success which you deserve. And yeah, the only thing I will say to you now, pick up the guitar, pick up the microphone, and get more music.
We're
working.
We already have most of the material for the full album. We just haven't got to the studio yet.
Yeah.
So that's good news for you.
That's pleased me now. I can't wait.
Oh.
But let me know when you over in the vicinity, if it's Europe or something, and I will do a road trip and come and see you.
Awesome.
All right.
We'll let you know as soon as we can.
Yeah, this has been brilliant speaking to you. Good luck going forward, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's. And Ralph, I told you, did you hear him in the corner?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw him.
Yeah, I told him that's what he's like. If I'm not paying attention to him, he gets on the camera.
He
But
loves
anyway,
camera.
take care and speak to you soon.
Thanks.
Bye
Have a good day.
now.
All right, take care.